Hello, everyone. I am back with another quick film review for you. And today I'm going to be taking a look at Venom: The Last Dance. Yes, Venom 3. I never thought we'd get a trilogy, but here we are. It is directed by Kelly Marcel and written by Marcel, who co-wrote the story with star Tom Hardy. It also stars Chiwetel Ejiofor, Juno Temple, Stephen Graham, Rhys Ifans, Alana Eubank, Clark Bacco, and Peggy Lou in her fourth movie in terms of the Marvel Universe, counting the Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse. A little cameo there, so good for her. Good for Mrs. Chen. All right, so there'll be no spoilers in this review. I know, I sound like Bill Shatner. No spoilers, mister, because I will only talk about the starting plot and what's in the trailers and anything that's happened in the previous movies, okay? I don't want any confusion here. No spoilers. That's it. So if you want to know zero, and I mean literally nothing, you don't even want to know what starts this movie, then just, move on. Don't watch this video. All right, so Tom Hardy and director Marcel return for this third installment in the Venom saga. Likely the last one. That could be what they're kind of meaning by The Last Dance, but we'll see. Everyone wishes Spider-Man was in this movie. I know, that would be ideal fan service, but we can't get that, unfortunately. It's too bad. We do get this other story, though, with another lame villain. Although, the villains in the second one weren't so bad. I kind of liked Cassidy and Shriek, but really, the villains make the movie, in my opinion, especially comic book movies. The first Venom film, it was probably the best of the three, since it introduced the whole symbiote bonding to itself and everything. But even those villains weren't that great. Just other symbiotes and stuff. It made sense, just wasn't that exciting. So here we go again. And it's all about Tom Hardy's performance. Performances, actually, of course, because he voices Venom too, naturally. So it's really a dual role for Mr. Hardy. And he's funny. There's lots of dark humor throughout this trilogy. And it's always going to be action packed, but this third one is kind of lacking. It feels a bit tired. It feels a bit uneven. It's really underwhelming, despite some great action sequences and a really a terrific cast too. You can't go wrong with that. Sound effects and visual effects are all excellent, but it's just too bad that the story is so forgettable. Plot-wise, it picks up right after Let There Be Carnage, the second film, and Eddie/Venom are being chased by not only a brand new villain here, but also a soldier named Strickland, who's played by Ejiofor, and there's a lot more to the main villain of this movie, of course, from what we've seen in the trailers, but I'm not going to talk about it. There's a good reason that this villain is hunting them, and there's a good reason why Strickland is hunting them as well on the human side of things, but I won't get into it. Don't worry, I won't talk about it. In this film, they do use several forms of transportation. As we've seen in the trailers, just grab it onto the side of a plane, and Venom bonding with a horse as well, etc. It's almost a road movie, really. I mean, there's even a couple of hippies that help Eddie out. They're played by Rhys Ifans and the always hilarious Alana Eubank. They're a lot of fun. They give him a ride in their hippie van. Yeah, it's it's kind of a strange movie because there's just not that much going on until the ending, and the ending is certainly action packed, but it mostly leaves the audience kind of empty inside. Just like right after the movie, it's just like, what happened? I don't even remember. It's like, I don't know. There should have been more to this story. Is that too greedy? I don't know. I don't think so. We know why they can't do Spider-Man, and I don't blame it for not being able to, have this huge crossover with Peter Parker or any other Marvel characters. Obviously, different studios and different contracts and whatnot, limiting, characters to supporting roles in certain things and, etc. It's a strange clause. It's an interesting contract that they got going there, a deal that Sony and Disney seem to have. But I also think at the same time, if Spider-Man was in the movie with Tom Hardy's Venom, Venom being the anti-hero he is now, despite, eating heads for the good of mankind, he's eating heads. I just don't think it would really work to have Spidey and Venom face off against each other at this point, at least not to be mortal enemies, I mean, you can always start with a misunderstanding and whatnot, but I don't know. I just not sure there'd be a whole movie there anyway at this point, considering the Venom character is so so liked now. They'd really have to come up with a reason for Eddie to want to kill Peter, just like in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. Tom Hardy's Venom is clearly better than that one, but but still, we do wish there was more. But I gotta say, hats off to Hardy again. He really makes the movie watchable. It's just a shame the villain is not, really anything new. A lot of these comic book movies really do rely on good villains. They rely on good casting, great effects and music, and all sorts of great marketing and action figures and things. But but no, they mostly rely on a great villain to sell the story. And it's just these movies just don't have that great of an antagonist, right? I mean, Woody Harrelson made a great Psycho in the second one, but I'm just not really impressed with, these comic book movie villains nowadays, after we've been spoiled, I guess, with the greats like Loki and Thanos or Joker, Lex Luthor, Magneto, Doctor Octopus or whatever. I really hope Doctor Doom has done well. But anyway, I digress. So I'll just wrap up and say while the action sequences are good, it's really the fact that it's just so instantly forgettable that makes me so disappointed, really. It's just like, they could have made it special, but maybe they just wanted to kind of end it in, a certain way. I don't know. It's just too bad the villains weren't interesting enough, and it's a tad redundant of the first film in some ways, too. Honestly, I'm kind of giving it the same criticisms that I did for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, again, just underwhelmed by the story, forgettable, despite such a lovely cast, and such a talented pool of people here, naturally. So I enjoyed the performances, I enjoyed the action, everything else was meh. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10, and it probably truly is the last dance for Tom Hardy as Eddie or Venom. But you never know. I mean, Hardy is so good in the role, they may bring him back for something in the future. Who knows, right? Maybe animated or who knows. But we'll have to wait and see. Also, be sure to stay for the mid credits and the post credits, even if they're just okay. They're not like universe shattering or anything. They're not that interesting, but they serve the film and they work in that respect. So that's it. That's my review for Venom: The Last Dance, and I thank y'all for checking out this quick film review. Until next time, peace.